Hello, everyone. Hello, all you thousands of millions of people watching. Today is episode 1. Sorry I'm late. 5 minutes late, but that's okay. It's okay because I say it's okay. I am here at MatterHackers. This is my office, actually. And Michael will be joining me real quick here. He just had to go and do a very important thing. He had to get some coffee, just like me. They installed this new latte machine upstairs, and I'm like looking down here, but the camera's up here. Okay. They installed a new latte machine upstairs, and it's like a real expensive one, and it can make all this stuff. It can make hot chocolate and lattes and whatever. And I tried it a couple times. It was okay. I just like regular coffee with half and half and honey. So. And it's just Keurig coffee. So it's kind of like bottom of the barrel, but I still kind of just like it. So the expensive latte machine wasn't doing it for me, but apparently he's going upstairs and using it. If we don't get any views here, I'm happy anyway, because the whole idea of this is just to do a live stream and just to go for it and just to do it, So, let me just open this up real quick. I want to make sure it's working properly. I'm just opening up the live stream. Yep, looks like it's working. Okay, cool. So let me look at the schedule here. Show notes, intro, people, and backgrounds. Okay, great. By the way, this show is sponsored by MatterHackers. It is my employer. MatterHackers deals with 3D printers and vacuum formers and lasers and wasers and other stuff like that. Filament for your 3D printers. And the situation we have here is pretty interesting, actually, where I am an employee. My employment is called creative ambassador, and same with Michael. And also we have another person on our team called Megan, is her name. So we have a little team going on, and here's Michael right here. He's coming in with our millions of viewers that that'll see him. I don't really expect. Oh, you have to come over here. I don't really expect any viewers, but that's fine. The point of this thing right now is just to do it, just to become good at it and get a feel for it and kind of see what we're doing. He's coming around. So that's the purpose of this show, or today's show anyways, to just get a feel for it. And it's kind of casual, pretty casual. It's kind of like a chill stream, I would call it. But we have some topics and stuff. I wouldn't call it a podcast because a podcast... Oh, you have to be on that side. On the end, yeah. There we go. I wouldn't call this a podcast. I'd call it more like a live show, because we're going to talk about some topics, I guess, but it's more of chatting and talking about different things. So anything could happen. I'm
going to drop this link in some Discords and whatever. Get us an audience.
Yeah, it'd be cool. But again, the thing about doing stuff like this is just to get the reps in at the beginning. But yeah, if we get an audience, that's cool. So this is Michael, and our positions here are creative ambassadors, and we have a unique situation where we're very free to shoot whatever kind of content we want, as long as we're promoting the company as well. But we could promote other things too. There's just some stipulations. But the thing is I would say we're not super because this is a distribution company and they have their own products too. It's not like we're particularly biased toward one product or another, because Bambu, for example, is not necessarily sponsoring us directly. So we're not just I was gonna say pimping, but pushing.
Pimping.
We're not pimping Bambu specifically, although I have a Bambu and I really like it. But we're not biased because they're paying us directly for their products. So we could promote the Elegoo's if we're oh, this is a cool product, the Elegoo Carbon or whatever, I like it. So that's kind of our unique situation. We can kind of promote whatever products we want if we like them, And, as long as you go to MatterHackers and buy it. That's the stipulation. Everybody here should go to MatterHackers and buy it. And buy stuff. So that's kind of our situation here. So this show is basically sponsored by MatterHackers. They just don't know that this show exists, actually.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knows that this show exists. I think we kind of just started this. We came up with this idea, late last week. And we're just like, we should do a podcast, or we should do a talk show. We should do something.
Yeah, I just wanted to go live and start shooting and see what happens. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're doing. So that's basically what this show's about, or at least that's what the goal is. So there's not gonna be like politics. There's not gonna be anything other than like 3D printing, makerspace, tech, because this is tech. Like 3D printers and stuff is like tech industry. There's also AR, VR associated with it. There's 3D scanning. So that's going to be the general stuff that we'll be like talking about or doing, and like reacting to other videos about people talking about like some of the latest stuff, like the Bambu printer leak and that kind of stuff. But like, what are you printing right now is what I want to know. Like, what are you working on?
It's a good question.
Oh, also, maybe tell a little bit about yourself and like what you're working on.
Okay, so like how Chris introduced me, I'm Michael, part of the creative ambassador team here at MatterHackers. I print Nerf Blasters, so I'm doing lots of those right now. Shout out to Jacob Deathtree. I'm printing his first ever release design, the Jericho. Really cool shell-fed rocket launcher type vibe. Has a whole tire compressor in it. Doing that whole build out of PETG, and I'm getting tons of issues because I'm trying to AMS it. Oh yeah, let me just grab it right now.
He got me into Nerf Blasters too, so I'm starting to like build my own arsenal.
So this is the Jericho. This is the cream on it. But yeah, the whole like the ergo of it is like you try to hold it over your shoulder, and then
You gotta talk closer to the mic.
no, that makes sense. The whole the way it works is you put it over your shoulder. There's another print that goes up here, and there's a button you can press to shoot it, and just launches out a bunch of air. Feeds shells. I think we have 21 dart shells, and then I think like a 52 dart shell, which is really cool. Really excited about mess around with those. But I really need to get this build done because I'm getting so many issues trying to just AMS it on, I think, all printers right now. I've been trying it all week on the H2D, and I keep running into extruder motor overload issues, and then I tried running it yesterday on an X1E, and I got a notification last night that the tool head cover fell off, and it just looked like a mess in there. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I really want to continue, or I really want the build to be AMS'd, but it does not seem like the build wants to be AMS'd. Yeah, it really doesn't want to.
Wait, is it all PETG?
Yeah, it's all PETG, and like even like on the dual nozzle with the H2D, because it's only a two-color build. It's just so many issues.
That's pretty messed up.
Yeah, I've gone through so much filament just trying to.
Is that PETG in general, or is just the H2D having some?
So I think it's the H2D. I've seen some stuff on the forums about people having the same issue I'm having, and it's just something is not good with the extruder, which kind of sucks because I'm a really big fan of the machine, and I just can't get this PETG to work. It works great with like every other material I've ran through. I've ran TPU through the H2D. I've ran PLA through the H2D, but the PETG is just not vibing. But besides that, yeah, definitely does suck. I got a few other projects floating around here. My workbench is a mess. I wish you guys could see that.
I don't. I mean, we could turn the camera around, but nah, it's fine.
This is a lot going on.
Actually, like the view behind us is like also is way worse actually than his desk. But it wasn't always like this. It's just like more recently I keep piling up stuff for different projects.
But no, piling up stuff for different projects, like yes, that
seems to be what's going on here.
I wish I could be like I could have like Megan's desk where like everything is just all neat and nice.
Yeah.
And
but the thing with her is she's printing all these small flat things.
Yeah, she doesn't make like projects or anything. She just makes like prints or like art pieces, which like they come out so good. But I think that also like benefits her workflow because she doesn't have like hardware laying around. She doesn't have tools laying around.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm printing like all these big things. I'm trying to go big, so like it's just like volume for me. And then I got like these are used like 3D printers that are basically trash that I was going to try to do something with. I actually don't exactly know what I'm going to do with them, though.
Oh, those are Enders. Are those Ender 5s?
I don't know. I think they're 3s.
Oh my
Ender
god.
3s.
Dude, I walked into the services room right now to go look for headphones, and there's like 2 Ender 3s in there, and I was like, what are those doing in here? Get those out. What could services possibly need with those Ender 3s?
Are they even selling? I started with the Bambu P1S, so I don't know anything about other types of printers or like having troubles working on printers and things like that.
Dude, that Ender hate is real, bro. Coming from 3 Enders and a CR10. Oh my god, that was actual printing hell.
Huh.
Glad I'm past that though.
Yeah. Well, I'm also working on Nerf stuff because again, like you got me into it, and so I started with the Minx, the small little guy, but now I'm jumping up to the Lonks. So I'm waiting for that in the mail, the kit. But I started printing the body actually. So the body's the PKA body. Actually, I'll show it to you here. This is just part of the print. This is just part of the print. But it's like proprietary. I'm using green. But it's turning out pretty good, but it's got like facets.
Oh, yeah.
So like the 3D file needs to be like re-exported probably with like higher resolution.
You probably got to put it into Fusion and then export it as a step from, or as an STL from there. That's crazy.
Yeah, something. So it's a little funky, but the overall shape is fine. But so I'm working on that, and I'll show it when I'm done. But yeah, so that's kind of some of the projects, and then we have like these big snipers.
The Big Gregs. We have Big Greg kits. Those are awesome. I got to mess around with some Big Greg stuff at Maryland Mayhem last month. Got to meet Evan, the designer of the Big Greg itself. Got to meet Moose, who did a really cool remix of the Big Greg. But yeah, great guys over there. Yeah, Mega XL Sniper, like crazy.
This is the kind of stuff I'm
jockey.
He's not glued together. So that's kind of the stuff I'm working on, but I wish it was bigger actually. I'll probably do a bigger version. But I've been kind of like doing breaking things as my latest videos, so I'm like bashing things. So this guy's going to be like bashed up for one of the videos, but it's actually really cool. The original model is like a lot smaller than this. So it's like 400%. So yeah, those are some of the things that we're working on. On to the next topic. We're just moving on. There's no segues here, so it's a really high quality production. Oh yeah, so I asked chat, well, not chat really, I use Grok, which, you know, I don't know, like, I don't know what you use, but
I don't use anything. I use chat. I use chat when I need something, but I've been hearing Grok a lot lately. I have no idea what it is. I don't keep up with AI.
Grok is just another chat GPT, but it's like Twitter's X's, and I think it works a little better for me. The answers I get from Grok are like coherent, and for some reason, chat's free version gives me horrible bad answers that don't even work for me, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's my thing or what, but Grok is like almost as good as like paid chat, if not as good.
Okay.
And it also like scours X. So if you want like topics and stuff from X, then it'll do that. But I was just thinking about the 3D printing market as a whole, and I was like wondering where it was going and like how was it. And so this is what it told me. It was like the 3D printing market size and growth. So it actually kind of exploded from like 2020 to 2020, 2023, 2024. In 2020, it was 12.6 billion, and then went up by 13.2 billion the next year, then 15 billion, then 19 billion. And so in 2023 alone, it was a 31% growth, which is really big. That's like crazy. So now it's kind of like leveled off, and I was like, well, why is that? But it was saying the reason for the growth was a rising demand for prototyping in healthcare, aerospace, automotive. I'm guessing the technology also improved well enough that people could actually use 3D printing. And then government support and funding for additive manufacturing, shift to customized, on-demand, and sustainable production. And I was like, okay, well, why is it leveling off now? And it's just because things like market saturation, early adopters, everybody's kind of already gotten their 3D printers. Now, also like inflation, supply chain costs, tariffs, those kinds of things. But also the maturity, moving from rapid expansion to refining processes. So it's more like refinement now. Like everything's kind of, maybe not everything, but a lot of it's been invented already. And now it's just a matter of refining them and making them better. So like, the P1S version 2 will come out at some point, and it's just going to be a better version. It's not like it's completely designed or created from the ground up.
I think we have a question in the chat. Shout to King Supreme.
Hey, bring it up.
Oh, yeah. Shout to King Supreme. He's asking, isn't PLA supposedly biodegradable? Excellent question.
Excellent question.
Probably.
Sure.
Probably. Maybe.
I don't know. Put it in your garden and see what grows.
Yeah, bro. I know you live in Hawaii. Go mess around with that stuff. Go leave some outside. Go see what happens to it in 3 months.
I heard if you blend it up and then use it as flour, it'll work as like corn flour. That's what I heard. I'm gonna try it tonight. Make some tortillas.
Microplastics, yum.
But really, I'm not an expert, so I don't know these things. Except I've heard that no, I don't know. Maybe with like a chemical process, like a you know how they can like biodegrade plastics, but they have to use some sort of chemical process to do it. I think I've heard that. Because I think it's based off corn, so that's all I really know. That could be a lie too. I think I just read
PLA
that somewhere.
is made out of some kind of plant matter or something. It has to be corn. I'm pretty sure. I've gotten some that was made out of coconuts one time, which smelled crazy when it was printing. It smelled really good, but I'm pretty sure PLA should be technically speaking biodegradable. But I'm not an expert.
I don't think you could just bury it and it'll biodegrade in like a month. I think it would probably take 300 years, but I think there is like a chemical process that you could biodegrade it. But yeah, it's basically just plastic. So, good question. I really don't know. I could ask Grok. Grok will tell me. You could ask Grok too. There's really no point in watching this show. Actually, you can just ask Grok all your questions. So yeah, those are kinds of the reasons why it's leveling off. But and then competition, scaling limits, production bottlenecks. But its projection, let me just make sure this is still, yeah, okay. I asked Grok to project what it'll grow by 2030, and it was like it'll go up to like 76 billion to 94 billion is what the internet was saying. From right now, it's at 29 billion, so more than double, right? Yeah, basically triple. Yeah. So it's still a really big growing industry. There's definitely a lot to be improved. And I left a question in the chat, and I was like, will we be on time? But also, what's the next big thing in 3D printing? What do you think is the next big thing?
The next big thing in 3D printing. I didn't even see your questions, but I'm just gonna throw it out there and say multiple tool heads. I think once one of the big companies comes out with a multi-tool head that's relatively cheap but also good construction, I think that'll be a pretty big game changer. I know Prusa has the Prusa XL. You can get the 5 tool heads on it. Have seen really good things about that. But I need Bambu to do something with that. Bambu, throw me a bone. Put out a tool changer. I think it would be great.
Yeah.
Love their ecosystem. Love their printers. Love their slicers. Yeah, I think multiple tool heads at a cheaper price would be good.
Which really that has a lot to do with the speed, right? Like we want the speed to be higher, but also like I guess less waste.
Less waste. You don't have to like purge. You know how when you're doing AMS, you have to purge into the little poop chute. Reduces all that, the need for purging. Speed, I guess, would be another one. Yeah, just
I guess
speed and material.
if they could cut speed in half, that would be like, I don't know how they would do that. I guess it would be multiple tool heads. I mean, there's different ideas that are out there, like printing whatever this axis is. It's not ZYX, it's like W or whatever, like the 4D or the 5D. And then also multiple, like what I was thinking is, why can't there be multiple tool heads printing at the same time?
Yep.
Because that would effectively double your speed.
But are you talking about two tool heads printing at the same time on two different objects, or like
No, this what maybe, but no,
on
like the same
object?
Now I don't know how they would do that
Yeah,
because like the bars and everything.
Your gantries would be all over each other.
But the thing is, I was like, I think the next big thing, and the answers I put up there were just like ideas. But I think like the next big iteration could be using magnets instead of like the gantries. You just have like this whole sort of platform on the top with magnetic electromagnets, and then the gantry is just magnets moving individual tool heads around like this around each other. And if they could figure that out, you could have infinite speed, because they're going to be there's a lot less material to move around, so they're going to be lighter. They can move around each other. You could have potentially 5 tool heads at a time, and they can just move around each other because it's magnetic. It's kind of like levitating trains, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if you could have like them levitate, I think that could be something that could be done. Electromagnets.
What other questions did you put in the chat? Because I know you brought those up.
Oh, that was just like the poll that I put up.
Or what were the questions?
Well, so the next big thing in 3D printing, that some of the ideas, this is what Grok told me. Better AI design. I think maybe I put that one in there. AI 3D designs. Environmentally friendly filaments. Super duper speed printing, so they're just really fast. And then 3D printed food, it said.
Oh yeah, like that steak. I've seen that. There's like a meme or something about a 3D printed steak. I've also seen, I think it was a TikTok of some dude put like eggs in his extruder and like printed an egg, and it took like 80 minutes to like just print one egg, and then he ate it.
Cooked?
I think so. I think it cooked on the bed. Like it extruded the yolk and the white, and then cooked itself on the bed.
Sorry, the mic, you got to tuck in the front of it, not on the top, on the front. Yeah, like that.
Got you.
That's where it picks it up.
AI design and 3D printing. Funny story about that. A few months ago, we were going to go to the Ren Fair, and we were all going to get costumes made for that. And so I found a really cool helmet on Instagram that some dude just like posted the CAD of, and I hit him up and was like, "Hey, dude, I'd love to print this helmet. Like, it'd be super cool for like my night costume idea." And he just didn't like hit me back. So I took a screenshot. Of his CAD that he did, and it was like the front of the helmet, and I put it into an image to 3D model AI. I think it was Hugging Face. I forgot what like the actual name of the AI is, but the base page was Hugging Face, and it just spit out a whole helmet based on that one image, and it was pretty close. I'd probably say like 75% like the way there to like the official one. And then I printed it, and there was like a lot of holes in it, and like the mesh was really bad mesh. But like, I mean, it's getting there. The AI image to 3D printing, or like AI like giving the AI just a bunch of words to create a 3D model out of. Like, it's getting there.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I would say that was probably like a really casual way to make because did you just give it one image, or did you give it multiple?
No, I gave it was one image. It was just the front of the helmet.
Yeah,
like, it didn't even have like a 3D image. It was a 2D image.
So like if the AI was able to like accept multiple images, and if you were able to like have pictures all the way around, maybe it would have done a better job.
Yeah,
but like things like that like they can be very good. So I don't know if I have any problems with like AI 3D models and stuff. Sometimes they're kind of crap, but it probably depends on the service and the AI. And
I think it's all dependent on the usage. Obviously, like if like you're gonna like make something and like sell it, I don't think you should use like an AI modeling program, because like probably come out with a bad model. But I mean, if you're just messing around with your printer, I mean, ball out, go do what you want to do with AI. That's literally why it's there.
I like using it for coming up with concepts that I would then use to create my final thing. So I like to use it as part of the process of the final thing.
Yeah, it seems like it helps a lot with the workflow. I know we do have our own MatterHackers, like MatterHackers server side ChatGPT site. I use it sometimes too.
Yeah, I gotta start using that because it's like the paid chat.
Yeah,
so
no,
I
it
should-
is like
I
the
should
paid
use it,
version
yeah.
too. Like it works great whenever I use it, and it's always like does what I need it to do exactly.
Yeah, I keep forgetting we have that. So I also asked Grok for the Nerf growth.
Nerf
Could-
growth.
Well, because like you told me early on that it was something that was growing pretty quickly.
Yeah,
The like competitive Nerf hobby.
yeah, I've been in it for, I want to say, I think I'm coming up on 3 years, and I think from when I started in 2022 to now, it's just grown exponentially. So many people getting more and more involved, so many like new faces joining us, so many designers taking a stab at making a blaster, designing their own blaster in CAD, and then like making a name for themselves for real. We've got a lot of big shops. We got Out of Darts, Silver Fox Industries, to name a few. It's awesome that people can make a living off selling hardware and like full 3D printed Nerf blasters.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what like is Outer Darts the biggest.
Yeah, they are the
company?
biggest. I'd say second is Silver Fox.
I'm curious to know like what their revenue is. You know how much they
I'm
make.
also very curious to see that. But I have talked to a few people before, and there's a lot of revenue in the Nerf hobby, or like to hobby shops. So like comes from people that have no idea what the hobby is about. They just see something cool online, or like, oh my god, I want that, and then they'll buy something from Out of Darts, and then like have no idea that this whole hobby spectrum exists, and they'll just like plink at home with their 3D printed Nerf blaster, like not knowing that like there's clubs like probably like in their city, like in their county, in their state. They don't know that there's people flying out to like other countries to go play. They have no idea that people are like flying from other countries to the United States to play in tournaments.
Yeah, it's pretty under the radar, but it's also very similar to like the paintballing hobby.
Yeah,
Except,
very similar to airsoft and paintball. We're shooting around the same velocities.
But it's more accessible because
Way more accessible.
it's not as dangerous.
Yep.
It still scratches that itch of like actually having a gun, but obviously guns are more dangerous and it's harder to get into with guns. Also, that depends on where you live too. But, a kid can have a Nerf blaster, but like you may not give a kid a gun to go shoot at the range.
It very much scratches that I want to go play a shooting sport itch, because I know that's what I had when I got into the Nerf hobby, and like, you know, I messed around with paintball, I messed around with airsoft, but then the whole Nerf community is super like inclusive, or like, I think that's the right word, super open to everybody.
Except for
Bradley Phillips. Oh yeah, negative shout out to Bradley Phillips, sniper of Australia.
No, he puts out good information. I like watching.
He does it. He's a B-Car Truthist. We don't support that. We support SCARs, string rifling.
Well, I'm neutral about him. I don't have any negative things to say yet.
I don't even know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But yeah, Nerf hobby is great. You can just make your own blaster. You can show up to the
it's very inclusive and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You can like make your own blaster, which is really cool. You can do like whatever colors you want to. You can just like it's a Nerf blaster, so you can show up to the park with your friends and just go play Nerf for a little bit.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. It's also like it's like a hobby that you build something, and you build something that looks really cool and it's like customizable.
Yep.
So that's really fun too. Even just if you just built it. You got the kits and you build it, you 3D print the parts and everything. That's fun too. So like I think it's a really cool hobby.
It's like a Lego set, but you can actually use it and you don't have to just look at it only.
There's those guys that do like the technic with like the gears and stuff, and they make these cars that move. But anyway, yeah. Other than that, yeah.
Dude, there's a I think it's an AI, but there's a site where if you put in the Lego set number, it will generate STLs of every single brick that's in that set. And then, like, you can just print a whole Lego set.
Legos is going to go bankrupt with 3D printing.
I think they've been served with, like, multiple cease and desist. But I think they still operate. Like, 70% sure that they still operate. I would love to try that. That'd be a really cool content idea.
But you could like I don't know what their patents are and stuff, but you could probably just like change the size and shape.
Scale it up by
slightly
1%.
Yeah,
it's not an official Lego brick.
Instead of 6 little thingies, it's 5 or whatever. You can make it work. But yeah, so the Nerf, the foam flinging Nerf hobby is booming. What do you prefer? Because like I was like, do we really want to like promote the Nerf name for the hobby, or would it rather be like a foam flinging? I'm not a huge fan of foam flinging.
I don't like foam flinging. I don't like foam soft. I think foam soft sounds stupid.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like lame.
Jacob says the video and audio are like 5 seconds off.
Huh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That does suck.
Oh well, I'll fix it later, maybe.
Maybe.
Can't fix it now.
Damn. Where were we going? Oh, foam soft. I think sounds lame. Nerf. I mean, I hate telling people like when I'm like meeting people and like we're like introducing myself and it's like, oh, I play Nerf, and they're like, what? Like, yes, I play adult hobby Nerf. I don't like foam flinging either. Foam flinging sounds stupid.
Yeah.
I really don't know what a good name for that would be. Like foam soft, dart soft. I think those are.
Yeah, there's not really any that I've heard that I like other than Nerf, which is the brand, because everybody knows what Nerf is. So Nerf Hobby, and it makes sense because there's still Nerf blasters, but.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a Nerf blaster, but like the only thing like related to a Nerf blaster is that it shoots a foam darts. Like.
Yeah, well, and they kind of created the whole thing in the first place, but yeah, I don't know. There should be something else. Should be something cool. Maybe you'll come up with it and it'll be adopted.
Maybe.
Like.
maybe we should ask Grok.
Blaster tag. Yeah, because there's like laser tag.
Yeah, but then
blaster tag.
Yeah. Blaster tag could work.
And then there's paintball guns, but they don't like saying guns with the Nerf stuff.
Yeah, we say blaster, but like it's like very much only so that like we can like go to the park and play in public. Is we try to not associate anything with guns and firearms.
Can you play in public with paintball?
No, absolutely no.
Oh, okay.
Very illegal. Very illegal.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. Then.
Same
Call
thing
it
with
a blaster.
airsoft. Yeah.
So something blaster. We'll figure it out. I think Michael will have a name for it.
Possibly.
Later. What was the one that I said?
Blaster
tag blaster. Oh, you said that blaster tag.
I think we both said
that's
that.
That's okay. Foam tag.
Foam tag. I don't know. It's just all bad. At this point I'd rather just call it Nerf. Like damn.
Yeah. I don't know. So it's booming. So this is what Grok said. Driven by 3D printing custom blasters. So as the 3D printers kind of rose, obviously the Nerf hobby rose because it's kind of tied hand in hand. You can build them with 3D
very much tied. I think 3D printing started taking over in like the mid 2010s for like printing blasters because like originally it'd just be like you take a Nerf gun, like an actual Nerf blaster, like a one produced by Hasbro, and you chop it up and put a bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah.
Or like it used to be too that like people would just make some crazy things out of like PVC and wood and like whatever they had,
just like tubes and stuff.
Yeah, and then now like that we have 3D printing, you can just design your own blaster based around hardware you have or hardware that you want to use.
I wonder what percentage of like 3D printing of like consumer printers is used for Nerf stuff versus like slop or whatever else. Because I think like the biggest 3D printing part of 3D printing is industrial, I believe.
Yeah, additive manufacturing, rapid prototyping.
Yeah, but of like consumer, like people who have it at their home, it's probably a lot of it's like prototyping or like creating parts for cars and stuff, but I wonder how much of it is actually like Nerf. So like strong retail sales of brands like Nerf, Adventure Force, Dart Zone, and X-Shot, community innovation and high performance options fuel enthusiasm. So here's the numbers. There's not really any numbers apparently, but unless like some of these organizations have some sort of numbers.
I feel like it would be very hard to pull numbers for this demographic.
So this is what Grok thinks. No exact figures as far as like 3D printed blasters, but the rise of affordable printers like the Bambu A1 at around $400 which I don't know what we're selling.
It
it
is
for.
not $400 now.
Well, actually, I think everything's been lowered after the tariffs.
Was everything lowered?
Yeah, so I think it's more to normal now. Tariffs, everything went up like 3 or 4 times because we weren't sure. MatterHackers wasn't sure like what the pricing was, so they were like, just bump it up to the max.
It was like bump it up by 50% and call it a day. Which
no, it was like 2 or 3x. So it was like 200 or 300%. Just because like it was, if they sold a printer and then the tariffs were like, nope, sorry, it's like actually twice that much, they would have been out of money.
Yeah.
So they just kind of like covered themselves, and I think other companies did that too.
Oh, the A1 is back to 400 on the dot without the combo. Combo is 550.
And then MatterHackers also has like cool bundles and stuff with like filament and stuff.
Yes,
so.
we will like sell you classes on how to use your printers. So
Yeah.
if you do not have a printer yet, but you want to get into it, buy from MatterHackers. We will guide you. We will hold your hand.
So, and vendors like Out of Darts, if you want your hand held, that is.
You should.
I don't want to hold your hand, but
we won't hold your hand. But like
Michael will hold your hand.
like no, services will hold your hand. Shout
hold
to Andy. Andy will hold your hand.
Yeah, Andy, I gotta talk to him for the 3D scanning.
Oh, nice.
So, thousands of monthly orders from vendors like Out of Darts suggests a surge. Online design downloads like the Caliburn numbers in the thousands annually. So you could calculate stuff based on if you could find out what the downloads are for the Caliburn.
Yeah, because printables will show you downloads, they're like download numbers, but like, oh my god, the Caliburn is ancient. Like I was saying this the other day on Dart Sweeps live stream, but I was like, I cannot tell you when I've ever seen a Caliburn on the field. I think Caliburn came out probably in like 2021, like the most recent version, 2022.
I almost was gonna get a Caliburn.
Sheesh.
But because I wanted high FPS, and but instead I got the longs. So I bet that maybe that's something I'll do as a project, like just like kind of gather all those numbers, like the downloads and everything of all the different blasters, and then kind of have a decent idea of like what the growth is or what the popularity is. Pro competitions. Events like Maryland Mayhem, which happened recently, and HVZ End War, which that would be fun.
End War, oh my god. End War actually just had their Foam Pro Tour portion of the event, because End War is a one of those 3 day events, and they just had their competition portion canceled because I don't think they were able to secure a venue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that sucks. I think it's like 2nd year in a row.
Why?
No venue, I guess.
No venue wants to support it, or
I don't think they're just able to secure anything. I don't know. I don't go to N-War. I don't keep up with N-War. That is Jack's event. I don't support him necessarily. So I do not keep up with that.
Huh. Well, this says they draw 100 to 500 participants each event with a 20 to 30% attendance increase noted by organizers from 2022 to 2024. I don't know about 2025, but it's like we're actually kind of halfway through 2025.
This year
Crazy.
was my first year attending Maryland Mayhem, and it was definitely at least 350 people for the HUZ day. A lot of people. I think on comp day, there's probably at least like 100 people on the field and like spectating. But yeah, no, these events are definitely getting big. I've been to Ragnar Oktoberfest, which happens every October in the Bay Area. And that one does bring out a lot of people too. I know the HUZ probably gets to around like 400 people, I would say, possibly. And then the comp, probably like 200 people that day.
So this is attendance 20 to 30% increase between 2022 and 24. So that's 2 years. So that's like maybe 10 to 15% increase yearly.
Yeah, I feel like that sounds right. I attended my first Ragnar Oktoberfest in 2023, and I feel like going from 2023 to 2024, there's definitely a spike in attendance.
That's pretty good. It's not like a crazy, like super growth, but that's a solid number. Like if it keeps growing,
it's growing steady.
Recreational games, local groups report 50 to 200 players per event. Community forums growing from 100K to 150K since 2020. So that's like 10K a year or something like that.
Yeah, I know one of our local clubs, Lazy Uncle's Nerf Club, they definitely pull at least like 70 people per event, which is like really fun. Those games are usually just like come out and play PvP. There's like no comp aspects to it. Let me see if I can pull a number right here.
Jericho with a PVC tank when?
Do not make a Jericho with a PVC tank, please. Please stop spreading misinformation in our stream, Parker. I know exactly who that is.
Oh, what's his tag?
Parker or Space Doge.
Okay,
Yeah. What liabilities do we have for the MatterHackers sponsored stream? Like, am I allowed to say shut up to someone on the stream?
No, yeah, you could say shut up, sure.
Hold
don't
on,
care.
I'm trying to pull a number right now. I think one of the biggest Nerf Discords at least has like 1,000 people in there, which is like it's usually always active. I know
1,000? Like
I think so, like active users, and then
this says community forums like r Nerf on Reddit
r/Nerf
growing from 100K to 150K.
r/Nerf on Reddit has 98,000 subscribers, which is kind of crazy to me. I didn't realize it was that big.
I don't know how accurate these numbers are on here, but
I'm definitely very banned from r/Nerf, the subreddit, but I don't want to get into that.
Okay, that'll be for the next. That'll be
for the next
story.
The next, yeah, I can tell that. Actually,
we're gonna get on Reddit next time and like.
Please let's not get on Reddit.
We're gonna get on r Nerf and talk about some things. So Nerf sales dominate with Hasbro reporting 400 million plus in Nerf revenue. Dang, they're really selling that much Nerf. That's
What,
great.
Hasbro?
In 2023. Yeah,
So
Hasbro.
Hasbro genuinely does not put out any pro level stuff like how Dart Zone and X Shot are doing.
Yeah.
They've dabbled in it, like messing with their own half darts, but the ergo's always bad. They always add some kind of caveat. I know like the Pro Sender and the Torrent, they had like some weird mags that you couldn't use with like any other blasters or something. I don't know. I tried them once at an event. And they felt like ass, and I was like, okay, they're not for me. I think their only good successful like pro release was the Strife X, which is like 2 years old now already. But it's just like a really solid 160 FPS half dart flywheel.
Is that the one that's like the Venom Pro, just the half dart version?
The Venom. Wait, what?
Because I think there was one that was like the same as the Venom Pro, only Venom Pro is. Oh wait, no, not the Venom Pro. The my rival blaster. No, it probably isn't because you're talking about higher FPS.
Possibly. I don't know.
There was one that was like similar to my rival blaster that I got, but it was like dart version. But anyways,
was it on the shelf in the store, or like did you see it online?
No, someone told me about it, but it doesn't matter. It's not the same.
Got you. Heard.
But yeah, so Nerf sounds like it's mostly for kids.
Yeah, no, like definitely, like Hasbro only cares about their child demographic, which I mean that's fine. Like I mean, obviously it's been working for like 30 years or whatever.
Yeah, I wonder what their numbers are in 24 and 25 because this only says 23. But
yeah, I'd be very curious about that too. I wonder where the Torrent and the Sender releases got them to, because I know a lot of people have them, but I don't think a lot of people like them necessarily, and they're always on very steep clearance. I know. I want to say the Torrent was on sale recently for like $9 shipped, and I was like, "Damn, they must be trying to clear those out."
Yeah, I got my rival, whatever it is, it's just $15, like one of the cheapest ones, and it's flywheel. Dart Zone and Adventure Force gain share, probably because the whole pros they have like more.
Yeah,
fun
they have like
blasters that shoot harder and everything.
that shot long shot. They have the Nexus Pro, the Nexus Pro X, the Aeon Pro X, the Maxim. They have so many really solid half dart choices that I think they're just kind of dominating the comp off the shelf blaster market.
Which one's Zuru?
That's X Shot. That's X Shot.
Oh, X Shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zuru seems like. I wonder what their market share is. So they're like 4th place or something, 5th place. Is that what the case is?
I'd say so. I mean, it's probably Hasbro, Dart Zone, and then X Shot. X Shot coming in last, but they do have a bunch of solid releases that are relatively cheaper in price. But I mean, like they still work. X Shot also has the piston pump releasing soon, which is like the first half dart AEB that's going to be released on store shelves. Which
that should be cool.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I can't wait to see a bunch of people like show up with those two events, and then like
none of them work or something.
None of them work. It's just Jam City, and then I'm just gonna be there with my links and be like, haha.
Yeah.
Haha.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I definitely want to get one just to mess around with, but like at the same time, I'm not expecting a lot.
Yeah.
I've tried it once. I think I was able to mess with Beige at our most recent lunk, and I mean, it felt fine. It wasn't. It's an AEB that exists, but also I think we are still, I would say, like 5 years out from like good AEB tech. I know Eli Wu has his inertia and like the what is the other one? He has his AEBs. If you look up on YouTube, Eli Wu AEB Nerf Blaster, you'll find them. Really cool chain drive blasters.
Do you think that's the next big iteration?
Honestly, I think the next big iteration in the hobby is going to be HPA.
Oh,
HPA,
is that the air?
Yeah, so air blasters. Yes.
Yeah, after I saw that, I was like, why aren't we doing that?
So I think we are definitely getting close. I know recently there's like some new HPA cores that released. I don't know under what brand. I think it might have been Saber. But those, like if you see the FPS deviations, it's like 50. Like a shot will read at like 330 and then the next shot will read at like 280. So definitely don't get those. I'm looking forward to Roboman's Nomad re-release. He's running a second batch of them eventually, but those will make HBA really easy to use. It'll be easy to design around that whole core system.
I wonder why that just like wasn't the default from the beginning, being that like paintball runs on air. And
HPA just has a stigma against it in the hobby because people like will freak out and be like, you can't use HPA because we're at a public park. But like actually, like you can do that because you're not shooting paintballs. Like it's fine. And there's also like the fear that like someone will call the police on us because it sounds like you're shooting a paintball. But like
the sound sounds more
but I think like if someone actually did come and like there's an issue and you just explain like, hey, it's a Nerf blaster but it shoots air, I feel like there's gonna be no issue with that.
But like the piston pump, that sounds pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
so I wonder if that's gonna have any problems.
But I mean, I don't think there's no way that the piston pump will have issues because ABs have existed for years at this point. They all make the same sound, and you don't hear no one complaining about those.
Yeah, I think the air that makes perfect sense. I mean, that's the whole point of the blasters. They use air. So why not have just compressed air to shoot it out? Like
exactly.
And that gets rid of all the gears and AEB, gets rid of springs.
Yeah, and I think you get some really interesting loadout concepts with that, like running like a tank off your back or something, or maybe even running a bottle stock that has air in it.
Yeah, that would free you up to like, because you wouldn't have to potentially like lower your FPS if you're using like multiple darts. You could like feed air to each chamber or something like that, and you'd have the same FPS for every dart. Things like that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Or you could have like grenades or like mines that could shoot a bunch.
Yeah.
With air.
I really want to do something with like a trip mine. A trip mine I think would be amazing for Nerf, especially at like private close quarter combat venues. I think that'd be really silly to mess with. I think just running around with a loadout of like claymores and like no blaster would be really silly, and just like running around and setting those up, and like maybe they have like compressed air in them. So like
that's the thing, like because you could then do more of like what do you call them, rolls? Yeah. So like you could be like even potentially, like the guy that sets up all the little mines and stuff, and like whatever. Yeah, puts up the shields.
No, definitely.
The walls.
Yeah,
builds the building.
Yeah, you can definitely do some like.
I wonder if there's
Rainbow
like
Six Siege elements.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like are there like medics in any of these games that can like heal you?
It depends on the game mode. Sometimes we'll play like medic game modes and like and that. What are you talking about? Bro doesn't know about the Jericho core claim. Jacob, what are you talking about? What are you yapping about in there? Sorry, what were we talking about?
Is the Jericho core claymore? Is that
I don't even know PVC? I don't even know what that means. Jacob, make a PVC Jericho. Can you develop that, please? I want the pressure vessel to be PVC, so that way when I inflate it to 90 psi, it explodes in my face, and then we get Nerf banned everywhere.
Negative. In other news, someone's Nerf blaster blew up in their face.
Negative Jericho kit sales. Jacob, I hope you end up in the hole.
A man called Deathtree caused it, and is now facing fines. So yeah, all these are selling tens of thousands, $30 to $50 each, up sharply since 2021. So yeah, pretty cool little hobby. It's fun. Everybody get into it. Do it. So. The only other thing is like there's some stories I was like it'd be cool to check out what's going on. There's a lot of like kind of more technical or maybe like not as interesting stories, but some of the more interesting ones are like the Bambu lab leak, which
the Bambu lab leak. Oh my god. Are you gonna wait to? Are you showing it?
I'm showing you.
Oh my god, this is.
Oh my gosh. What is that? Like a dragon?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Wow. I don't know what else to say about this except wow. It looks great from our one singular image that we have. I mean,
but why? Like 340 is probably enough, but why not make it 350? Like isn't that the standard size? 350?
I don't know. What's
of the bigger sizes?
What's the H2D dimensions? I can't even.
It's like stupid. It's like 320 by 340 by
H2D
326 or something like that. It's dumb.
Uh,
And it also depends on which nozzle, or like if you're using both nozzles, or so.
300 by 320 by 325.
Yeah. So this, I don't know, maybe it's 340 squared or cubed or whatever that is. Hopefully it's all even. But like, why 340? Why not 350? That just bugs me. Like, obviously, maybe it's not a big deal, but like, what is it? The K2 is 350 by 350.
The what?
Is it the K2 plus?
Oh,
Or max or something like that?
the piece of junk.
Hey, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't used it, but what else is like 350? I just think that seems like the next standard.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I've seen it multiple times anyway. Maybe it's not a
I
standard.
hope this is called the Bambu P1SS or the Piss. I feel like that'd be a good name for it. I think also the X1 P1S would be good too. P1SS would go hard.
It's probably just like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like a carbon variant or a X1 variant, or just like a more lower cost one. Like, it could be a P variant, or maybe it's its own thing. Like, maybe it's an H Max or something. You know, like a lower version of the H2D.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I think hopefully it is just a bigger X1C.
Yeah, it's probably like X1C Max.
X1C Max would be good. I am a big fan of the linear rails from the A1 and as well as the A1 style tool head. I think those will be great. I know that the X and P series have issues with the tool head cover coming off, so hopefully that will alleviate those issues.
Well, that's probably like the next refresh of the P's and the X's. I'm sure it's like these kinds of things.
Yeah.
The rails in the head.
But yeah, it looks really good. I'm really, really excited for this. This probably will be my next printer pickup if I'm being completely honest.
Once again, Shenzhen finds itself at the center of a leak controversy, a blurry image.
One blurry
It's not blurry.
image. It's not that.
It's just low quality.
It's just low quality, and like the angle sucks. Like,
yeah, they should have done better with this leak image.
That's the worst
Who took
angle
this
you
picture?
could possibly ever get.
What phone did they use too? It's like faded. Has sparked a fresh wave of speculation. Photos suggest they may be preparing to launch a new large format 3D printer, make a shift toward a more affordable single nozzle alternative to the high-end H2D that can also shoot lasers out of it and cut wood, which I have not done yet, nor we don't even have laser, I don't think.
Chris, if you install a laser cutter on our H2D, I will be so mad.
I'm not gonna.
Please don't.
I'm gonna use our other laser cutters. So the successor appears to be a z-axis height of 340. Okay, so that's the height, indicating a build volume close to the H2D. Beyond its size, several design features suggest significant differences. Single nozzle print head. Possible focus on simplified functionality. Hopefully it's not too expensive. What do you think it'll be, like $2,000?
I am thinking somewhere in the $1,500 ballpark.
Wait, what's the carbon?
The carbon is... Hold on, let me pull up prices real quick.
If it's a carbon but bigger, it's probably gonna be like, I'm gonna guess 1,800, because the carbon's like a little over 1,000, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me see. Carbon combo is $1,500 right now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna guess 2,000. Yeah. Well, that's a combo.
By itself, $1,200.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess 1,800. 500 more.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty solid. I don't know. It's very cool to see images, or at least an image of this so far. There were rumblings of this a few months ago in the office that we may or may not had a heads up that this was coming. Very much looking forward to seeing a new Bambu printer, though. I think they did a great job with the H2D. So hopefully they have, like, this is like completely ironed out, like a H2D V2, but just with one tool head. Curious what kind of accessories they'll offer to go along with it.
Toolhead camera for calibration. Reduction in number of self-monitoring cameras compared to the H2D. Many are speculating, maybe prepared to introduce a lower price, large format. Strategic shift toward a more streamlined production line.
What's that second picture? What's that? Is that the screen?
UI displaying the new beta. No, this is like the firmware
Oh,
update.
gotcha.
So you're just talking about other stuff now. So yeah, that would be cool. You know, that was probably. It seems like that's kind of what people were actually asking for.
Yeah, I know. Definitely. After the H2D release, people have been like, "Oh, imagine if H2D, but one toolhead and a little bit cheaper." So I'm glad that demographic will have something to look forward to, and
that would be what I would want. It's just a bigger thing, but the same as like basically just a bigger P1.
Yeah, if you want one, wait for release and then order it through MatterHackers.
Yeah, because we'll have bundles and stuff.
Cool
deals.
Like you'll also be supporting MatterHackers.
That's true. You'll be supporting this channel. Please support us.
Yes.
Support us now. What do you think about this color? Beige. Do you like that?
That looks like our Stuco Beige Pro Series.
Yeah, there are there are like several colors.
What kind of material is that? Is that PLA?
It's just PLA. Endangered. So they're trying to mimic the old, Mac color.
Oh, what? Wait.
So
they made a filament of that?
Well, someone spent $900 with was a company. What was it?
Polymax, Polymaker, one of those.
Polar filament.
That sounds familiar. Wait, polar filament?
So someone paid polar filament to match the color of the old computers, that beige color. And I'm like, I never liked that aesthetic to begin with, so why would I want that color? It's like,
try to see if I've printed polar
like
before.
color.
I might have.
Platinum color scheme.
Whoa, they have some great prices and some very nice colors. I don't think I've printed polar before.
I never heard of them.
I might have to pick up some of this.
Yeah, the pricing seems good. So the platinum color, which Apple used in the desktop and portable computer line starting with the Apple in 1986, I never liked that color scheme or like the aesthetic of those old. Like, look at this.
Retro,
does that look good to you?
Platinum PLA, dude. I low-key love that. I'd love to do like an AMS.
I don't like that.
Apple or retro Apple themed build. I think that'd be cool.
I don't like that retro.
I'd love to do a
No.
links like that. I think a links like that would be pretty cool.
Actually, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, so I just thought that was kind of cool that someone paid so much money to like match a color. I guess you can do that.
How much was it? $900?
No, yeah, he spent $900 to have Polar match the
Bro,
color.
he was just doing that for the love of the game. That's great.
Yeah.
I love to see nerds doing stuff like that.
So the guy runs a website about his vintage computer collection, and I think the idea was that it's becoming more rare with these old computers to like if you needed to replace it or repair it or something, there's no parts to do that. So you could 3D print them, but you don't have the exact color. So that's like kind of the idea of why he did that.
That makes sense.
So it's cool. I'm just not a fan of the look anyway. So that's just, but I thought it was interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Prusa. Oh, have you seen this? Okay.
What's that?
Have you seen this?
What is that? What is that?
It's like those things for like editing where it has like dials and stuff to help you edit faster, like a pad.
Yeah.
This would be for 3D printing.
What?
For like
is that for your slicer? Wait, okay, it's so unnecessary, but that's really cool.
I don't know. I think it could like slightly speed up your process. Like with things like editing and stuff, you're sitting editing a video for like 4 hours and you're pressing a lot of buttons, and there it saves a lot of time if you learn it. It saves tons of time because you're doing all these things. So like it's just faster to do it with like a keypad versus like your mouse or something. But with like 3D printing, I don't know how useful this would be.
I feel like it'd generally just be useful for the arrange.
However, I think it's not
the
real.
range button would be. You think it's what?
I think it's not real.
You think it's not real?
Let's see. I think it's just a render. So let me see if I can find it. So I mean, it's kind of cool, but
I mean, is there any official word from Prusa about this?
I don't know if it's specifically from Prusa or if it's just someone who created it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here we go. The Prusa Slicer macro pad is merely conceptual.
Ah.
So they said at the end of the article. So
I
it's like,
love
this is
that
so
it's
cool.
at the very end of the article. That's wow.
It's from
What
conceptual.
website are we on right now? What website is
This
this?
is yankodesign.com.
Negative shout out to yankodesign.com. Negative.
They're all talking like it's real. The Prusa Slicer macro pad gives you expert 3D printing controls under your fingertips.
Fingertips.
Not real. Yeah, my fingertips.
I mean, it's a cool idea.
Yeah, it looks cool, but
I think it's very unnecessary though for the most part.
I don't know if it'd be, unless you were like somehow printing like hundreds of
If
things
you were
at a
running
time.
a farm and had to just slice and load hundreds of objects into your slicer at like once to like arrange and like make sure they're orientated in the right position, I feel like that'd be somewhat good. But I also don't know any people who are slicing and printing hundreds of models at the same time. I see Sean Witherspoon. What's he up to in 3D printing?
Shoes apparently.
Shoes.
3D printing shoes.
Dude, I've
the
always
Sean W.
wanted a pair of his Air Max 97s, the rainbow ones. Those are clean.
So this is a collaboration with Zellerfield, and how much are they? He frequently collabs with Adidas. Okay. I think they're a few $100s. Okay, so they're 190 or 150.
$190 for some 3D printed shoes is kind of crazy because you know those took like $10 of material to make, probably even less.
But like 30 hours to print, and I've seen ones for more than that, like 250. Which I think there's actually another one here that where they're like even more. Where is it? But I think it's cool. I don't know how durable they're gonna be.
Oh, are
Like,
these
ones
the
I think
Nike
look even
ones?
better, yeah.
I've seen these. Those are pretty
These
dope.
are how much are these? Dropping soon. Okay, no price. But it's cool. I don't know how long they'll last. I guess it depends on the material and mostly.
Yeah.
Like, I still want to print the Bambu shoes.
Oh yeah, the Bambu shoes look really good. I was looking at that filament yesterday or Friday because they were running. Bambu was running a flash sale on their website, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to see if that TPU that they use for the shoes is on sale." Nope, it was not. It was like $60 a kilogram. I'm like, not gonna do that.
Yeah, but I got some of that foaming TPU. It's in here. That's what I was gonna try printing. I just got to figure out the settings and just start one.
Yep.
But yeah, that's basically it. So let's see if the chat has any other questions from Deathtree talking about PVC or anything. No. Bambu H1 mentioned.
Is that what they're calling it?
Oh, H1? Yeah, maybe. H2, H1. That kind of makes sense.
If the H2D was so good, why didn't they make the H1?
H1D.
H1D.
H1D. What's the D stand for?
Hot and two nozzles. Wait, no.
Dual nozzle.
Dual nozzle.
So H1S, single nozzle.
Yeah,
H1S.
I could see that.
H11.
H11.
One nozzle. Deathtree, do you have any other questions for us, or like you're the only person that's asking?
Jacob, say something about say something about the Jericho.
Yeah. Say something about the Jericho. Oh, the PKI, the lonks, the files are kind of funky, so got to get that re-exported.
Jacob, what if we MatterHackers sold Jericho hardware kits?
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, like, they're very open to trying putting things up on the marketplace.
Yeah, I know there's a hot dog or hamburger. I'm gonna go with the hot dog. I've been on a hot dog thing lately, and all my social media For You pages are absolutely cooked, and I'll just get hot dog content, and then I'll like it, and then I'll get even more hot dog content. Also buy Jericho kits.
Are you talking about something that I don't know about, or actual hot dogs?
No, Jacob's putting in the chat hot dog or hamburger, and
Oh, I
yeah,
gotcha.
and I was just
I totally didn't see that.
yeah,
Hamburger for me.
that's real.
Longs files very much you figure it out. LOL.
That's crazy. Shout out to Jacob.
Okay, we'll do.
But going back to MatterHackers selling Nerf Blaster kits, I know there is a Voron shop located out in the Pacific Northwest that has partnered with Out of Darts to start selling blaster kits. I know they sell like Lynx kits, they sell Alchemist kits.
Dude, we should totally just create a Nerf section on the website and just put up whatever models that, like maybe Deathtree or
Yeah,
whoever want to start putting them up and see how they sell.
yeah, I think that'd be great. Jericho, I think, I think we need to get like we should get or Jacob should get more Jerichos into more people's hands, so that way people don't be stupid with them. Just because there is a pressure vessel in there. But no, I think reaching out to Out of Darts or something and be like, hey, can we get some bulk kits possibly? Because I think
well, they're a distributor. Wouldn't we want to reach out directly to like the creators of the?
No, but
items?
like the creators, they don't supply Out of Darts with like their hardware kits. Like Out of Darts produces their own hardware kits. And
well, I think because we have laser cutters and water cutters, I think we can cut our
laser
own.
cut bars don't feel good, and I don't think we should.
How do they cut it?
Like with the like a bandsaw, and then they tap all their holes with like a drill press, and like it's like a whole like it's a whole fabricating setup that they have.
So then I mean, yeah, I guess that would be a way to do it. There are basically our shop, that machine shop, but would they want to do that versus sell it themselves?
I mean, I don't know, because obviously there'd be like an exchange of funds, like we'd have to give them royalties or something. I don't know, or just buy the kits outright.
Yeah,
and list them for more on our side or on our side.
Yeah, but I don't know if like that's the thing. I don't know if we could like resell them. There's probably some
I mean, but
stipulations there.
that's what that Voron shop is doing though in the Pacific Northwest, is like they're just reselling the kits. They have some kind of deal with Out of Darts. Yeah, they have some kind of deal with them where they're just getting kits and then selling them for like like an extra few dollars on top. If you want to pull up the site, I think it's called West 3D Printing.
West 3D Printing. West 3D Printing, west3d.com for Voron.
Yep, this is it. And then one of them
projects, Berserker.
One of the links has like Nerf stuff. Look up Blaster. Just look up Blaster.
Blaster. Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and like it's the Out of Darts like listings.
So wait, does it just go directly to them or
no? And then
so does Out of Darts fulfill it, or do they have them in stock?
I think the shop
they partnered
stocks them.
The next fun 3D printer. Exclusive offering, high powered spring and a low magazine here.
But see, what listing is that? Is that a Talon Claw 4?
Yeah.
How much is it?
$68.99.
$68.99.
That's just for the hardware kit, with bonus spring 14-inch.
You said it's 64.
$68.99.
Oh, so they only have a $4 add-on fee for.
But they're also adding a bonus spring.
With bonus spring.
So they got like their own special little kit, I guess.
With a 14-inch barrel, and does it say what spring it's with? In the description, maybe, perhaps.
K25 and a lower power K31.
Okay, yeah, that comes out to basically $68 on the Out of Darts site. So, I guess that's just a straight.
The parts in the kit are raw cut. So I think Out of Darts do they refine the cuts on this one?
Wait, what? Say that one more time.
The parts in this kit are raw cut, may require minor cleanup to fit into your.
No,
build.
that means that like Out of Darts cut it and was like, we're just gonna give you whatever, and if you need to clean it up, you need to clean it up.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, does Out of Darts refine their kit?
No.
Oh, they don't.
No.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I wonder what their deal is. The thing is, like, if you already have a marketplace with people, with like customers that are looking at it, then maybe it's worth it to them to like be like, yeah, we'll collab with you, give you the kits, and you can sell it on your own marketplace with your own customers. So I don't know. I think one way we could do it is like we could have our own version of the kit. We could have like whatever bundle or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like even with like filament and stuff, like, hey, here's the kit plus all the filament you need to make the kit, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or like
But we could also just try to get people on that like aren't necessarily on other like on Out of Darts, like with their blasters and stuff, like the Jericho or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's some options there, I think.
Jericho would be cool. I'm just like, I mean, the main concern is that like that is a blaster with the pressure vessel, and I think a lot of people that are beta testing Jericho don't want it to be like used by someone that's dumb and stupid, and then
Yeah.
like they blow it up in their face, or like
Maybe-
there's a warning on the
maybe
Jericho
there's a-
itself that says like the maximum pressure is 110 psi. I don't want to see like someone just be like, oh, I'm gonna put my Jericho to 150 psi, and then it just blows up in their face.
It has not been stress tested
That is
at 150.
no,
FYI.
don't go to 150. Do not.
Well, maybe there's options there. I don't know. We could think of some things, but I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be
It
cool.
literally says maximum pressure or maximum psi 110.
Maybe there's like some kind of limiter that could be put on it. Bethany,
Bethany shout out
Vega?
to Blaster Barbie.
she says, "Wow, dang, just and." What does that mean? Dang, just and?
Dang, just Ann.
I don't know this kind of slang, but so.
What are you saying, Beth? What are you on about? What are you building in there?
So yeah, that's about it for today. Any other questions or concerns? Call customer service because I am off the clock.
Yes. Yes, we are outie. Shout out to everyone that came in and listened.
Yeah, thank you.
It was nice to yap.
We got
on this
three-
beautiful Sunday morning.
3 concurrent viewers, 23 views. That's more than actually I was anticipating, so that's cool. Dang, just at me in the chat. I just want a Jericho though. That's what she says. Well,
Beth, who is printing your Jericho? Is Jacob doing that, or do I got to do that? Because I can, if you want me to, because I got to print your tongue claw. But yeah.
we'll talk to you guys next time. We'll see. I mean, I'm thinking we'll do this again. At least, I mean, it's on my channel, so regardless, I'll do it again next weekend, and then Michael, of course, can join me.
I'll just fill in wherever.
Be on whenever he wants.
Yeah.
And then maybe even Megan will be on too. I'll ask her too.
I think that'd be a really cool stream to have all three of us on and just
Yeah.
kind of shoot the shit
And
and,
maybe we
talk about what other projects we're all working on.
Yeah, I guess we could do it on this table, but it also could be cool to do it on like a couch. That might be
I'd
cool.
love to do it on the couch. That would be great. I think having all three of us on at the same time would be really cool because we all fill very different niches in the 3D printing world.
We didn't even talk about like what our socials were, like what we're doing on our different socials.
We haven't even done that, so we can get into that next
Yeah.
time, and Megan can get into it too.
Because it would be cool to talk about strategies and like how we're going to, what our topics are, our genres and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, until next time, like, share, and subscribe, and check out MatterHackers.com.
Did you put your link tree in the stream description?
I just put my
next
well,
time.
actually,
your website.
Yeah, I put my website, SpaghettiOverdrive.com, which has like all my links and everything. It's kind of like, it's basically my link tree. It's just advanced link tree. And check out Michael at MatterHackers.
Yes.
Your tag is at Michael at MatterHackers.
Yeah, at Michael at MatterHackers.
Yeah, for Instagram, TikTok, it's all the same.
All the
and
same.
YouTube,
All the same. Yeah.
So Michael at MatterHackers, and I'm Spaghetti Overdrive, and we'll see you next time on whatever this show is called. I called it Spaghetti Live.
Spaghetti Stream.
Or Spaghetti Stream. Let us know what you want it to be called. We'll talk to you.